right, babies, it's that time again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are in Acts 5. Acts 5 has the ridiculous story that I refuse to believe to be true, which is Ananias and Sapphira, I think that's her name, husband and wife, who withhold some money from giving it to the apostles who were managing it for the small community, and supposedly God struck them both dead for their blasphemous behavior against the Spirit of God. Sorry, don't buy it. Why? Because every day, all day, there's something in our behavior, even those of us who have the Spirit of God residing within us, that we are doing something that could be considered blasphemous to God, and people are not struck dead for it. Sorry, don't buy it. And it's stupid stuff like that really annoys me, that in my opinion, contributes to people not wanting to believe in the Bible or Jesus, because it's like, well, that's ridiculous. And then then they start, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. It really annoys me. All right, so let's stop thinking about that, and let's move on to more pleasant things, like suffering for Jesus' sake. Oh yeah, baby. How's that for a morning boost? Get your cup of coffee out. Are you ready? Suffer. Oh yeah, baby. And what's depicted in Acts 5 on that is the apostles considering it an honor, as I do myself, and that's why I have no trouble believing it, because I have this experience. An honor to suffer for the Lord, or to be willing to sacrifice something or experience hardships so that there'll be greater evidence for those who need the encouragement to see Jesus being alive. Like, why would these people, be willing to be beaten for their faith and refuse to stop preaching Jesus, and refuse to stop healing people? There's a reason for that, because there's evidence of God living in us, and that it's so strong, and it meets so many of our needs and wants, that we're willing to accept any kind of criticism, rejection, abuse, pain, and even death, if necessary, so that the name of Jesus would be lifted up and people would see that, yes, indeed, we are committed to Him because He is Lord. Yeah, baby. That I can bear witness to. Dropping dead because of my behavior? No. And big news here. I was visited by, speaking of which, evidence of Jesus. I was hit so hard last night by the lovely Spirit of God that I was basically just laying in my bed, immobile. I mean, I could have, forced myself to get up, but why? Why would I? It was almost like, it was almost, and I've had this happen before many times, especially, like about 40 years ago, when I first started walking in the Lord. I would get into these prayer experiences that were just so overwhelming. It was like, wow, like you just feel like you're being sedated or something by the Spirit of God, and like this really comforting, strong presence. I used to get that a lot. So I had another one of those last night, and it lasted for about an hour. And I was just like, I was about to go to bed, and I put on this person. Her name is Elaine Pagels. And she's a professor. She has a doctorate in biblical studies, and she's written a book on the Gnostic Gospels, and those include the Gospel of Thomas. These are writings that emerged around the same time as the Gospels were most familiar with, and some say even before. They're somewhat odd, but in some ways they're kind of, they're different, but no less inspirational, and sound very much like they could be authentic words of Jesus. So in the case of the Gospel of Thomas, that's exactly what it is. It's just a list of sayings. There's no narrative. But anyway, I put her on as a way of putting me to sleep. Not because of her content, but because of the sound of her voice. If you ever check her out, it's somewhat monotonous, but very gentle and sweet. And I thought, yeah, this could put me to sleep. But instead, the Lord just was meeting me in my prayer, and it just got more and more intense, to the point where I didn't want to move, because I felt like if I moved, I might be missing something. Like, Lord, if you want to heal my dislocated finger, go for it. If you want to heal my hip, go for it, baby. If you want to, fix my financial situation, go for it, honey. If you want to, give me some encouragement about, moving me into a ministry position, go for it, sweetheart. So I just laid there and just let him do his thing. And I got emotional at one point, and I was just like, Lord, whatever you want. I felt, and I wasn't thinking about Acts 5, but it was sort of like I kind of had a Acts 5 experience where I was just kind of like, Lord, whatever you want. You want me to suffer? But my main thing was, what was really pushing me, my main focus was pleasing God, making Him happy, living in such a way that people can see Jesus more clearly in me than maybe in other people who are too bogged down in their Bible worship or their ritualistic behavior that can be really obnoxious. I'm like, Lord, I just want people to see you so their lives can be changed. And whatever it takes for me to get there, whatever I have to give up or sacrifice or suffer, here I am. Have at it, baby. Yeah, that's basically how it went.